Here we are, the home stretch of this weird fucking game.
Yeah.
Definitely bothering me.
Yeah, just bothering you, Riku.
Yeah.
Look at
And let's say this game was one of the reasons that I wanted to do the year Final Fantasy, because I needed an excuse to play it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I bought the 10/10/2 HD remake as soon as I got a new PS3 a couple of years ago, because fuck, I just wanted to play Final Fantasy X again. Like this being on the package was nice, but I had no desire to play it. Well, I had a desire, but not a drive.
It's like you wanted to know, but
Yeah.
you're like, fuck, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, same thing with Final Fantasy IV. Like, I had remembered trying to play Final Fantasy IV more than a decade ago, getting fucking demolished on the demon wall, and going, nope, this is too much.
Don't forget the calm lands, the cave at the bottom of the gorge.
Because I borrowed this from a friend back in, like, shortly after it came out,
So which one do
and
we
I played it
jump
for
into?
a little bit, but did not get into it at all. Like, I know I completed at least Chapter 1, because I remember doing stuff that's only available as soon as Chapter 2, but I had no recollection of anything that was going on in Chapter 1 as I was playing through it. Walk us a daddy. Now we're going to do some quick side quests before we go to finish the game.
Jeez, that happened quick. It
Yeah.
was
It's a boy. You want to meet him?
Waka, that's just an umbilical cord.
oh,
Oh, brother. I really should have paid attention in sex ed, you know. It's just... Wow. Swaddling clothes are dumb.
Rakulita. Look at his hands. They're so tiny.
He's a fucking baby!
What do you think? He's cute, yeah?
One thing if he had, like, full-size hands
Yeah.
at birth.
look at his hands. They're that of an 80-year-old man. It's really weird.
They're just
You think so?
gnarled and arthritic, covered in liver spots.
Doing accounting.
I think the calm will end before Waka makes up his mind.
Well, you better decide soon.
No rushing, yeah? Naming my son is my first important decision as a parent. Becoming a good father requires intense emotional preparation, yeah?
How long
You had 2
planning on
years to
preparing?
prep.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go back to my cave and stare at the wall.
Yeah, Waka, shouldn't you have been doing that instead of staring at that wall? With your weird walking animation? This fucking guy. This is the guy who wanted to burn down the temple, and this is the guy who gives you the side quest that made me not want to complete 100% of this game. If you do his whole side quests, I think you get like you learn more about him, and this part is much more meaningful, and additional stuff happens. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Why do you want to learn about this guy anyway?
And so
Who
it's-
gives a fuck?
It's like this emotional moment, but it's like we read chapter 1 and then chapter 8, but not chapters 2 through 7. And so they just almost hit him with a blitzball, and then he fucks off. Bye, Becklem.
Yeah, like, how are you supposed to care about this guy?
Yeah. Like, maybe if I'd done the side quest, I would be like, oh, yeah, Becklem, but you meet him real quick, and he's just an asshole, and then he gives you a dumb minigame. And I just went, nope. Nope, nope.
That was nice.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
I thought I'd go say goodbye to Becklem.
Now,
He's
fuck that
already
guy.
gone.
Oh. Well, I guess we never patched things up, huh?
What can you do? That guy's head is made of rock.
I don't know
I
about
think
it.
you've made
Maybe
your
if you
match.
three had come around more often.
What's
Maybe
that
played his
mean?
dumb games. Maybe things could have been patched up then.
It means it's taking you
I'll
forever
never
just
know.
to pick a name for your
Oh
baby.
well.
I'm gonna go think about
Listen, I'm
Blitzball
only
was staring at
worked
a
up
wall,
'cause I wanna
brother.
be a good
I'm a father now.
Kimari told me something.
Better bring my
once.
boy to stare at that wall. Be our family tradition, you know?
He said, only those who try will become.
So you mean I have to do something and try to change? That it?
Waka's like,
Hang on, there's
it's
more.
not very cool of you to
Then
appropriate the
Kimari
Ronzo like that.
Kimari
Yeah.
thinks Riku
Brother.
should stay Riku.
Huh? So I'm me then. Oh, I see.
Yep. No matter
So
how
I'm
hard you
Ethan.
try,
Wait,
you
which
always
me am
give
I?
up
And
that
then Jake
Hey,
and
what's that
Phoenix
supposed to mean?
and Bender pop up. We just start screaming at him.
I wish they all just had a good round of imitating Lorenzo
Uh-huh.
and like,
It gets more and more
yeah.
derogatory.
The village till nightfall.
Look at me, I got muscular buttocks and refer to myself in first person.
We all get greased up and rub our horns on each other.
Oh, we're almost all dead because we got fucked up by Seymour.
And then
I'm real big
Himari's,
and eat a lot of meat.
Himari's there because
Yeah.
he came to see the baby
Yeah.
and everything. He's got like a gift and like a Build-A-Bear and he's just real sad.
Kimari, go back to Mount Gagasa.
Wow, Payne's foot looks weird.
Yeah, it does.
Well, you probably know why I called you all here, huh? I'd like to introduce the newest member of Besaid Village.
Jeff, he just moved in. Also, here's my baby.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff. I hope to have wacky adventures with you all.
Don't tell me this is a brainstorming
Oh,
session.
you never know what Jeff's gonna get up to.
I gotta do something like that.
Let's be living in that dilapidated
No,
shack over
I haven't
there.
picked one yet. I'll think of one soon, yeah? For now, I just wanted you all to meet him.
I have the feeling that if I had done the side quest, this baby would be
Everybody,
named
take good
Becklem or
care of
something.
him, yeah?
It's weird that they make a big name out of naming it, and he just doesn't fucking have a name for it.
Congrats.
You can name him like Chapu, or
Yeah, but I gotta
Titus,
come up with
or
a name.
Orin.
No more
You have a lot of
dilly-dally
good
with
people to
that.
name him after.
Of course not.
You can name him
Naming my son
Blitzball.
is my first important decision as a parent.
Name him Gun.
Like Kimari said, only those who try will become. But
You could even name him
I'm already
Kimari.
me, yeah?
Bingo.
Just stuffs it in Payne's face. Payne doesn't want any of that baby.
He's going to make a great father.
Is he?
I don't know. He's going to make a father, that's for sure.
And then he's like, I'm gonna make a sandwich, brother. I'm hungry.
Well, I take back what I said. He's actually just going to make a sandwich.
You're really going in?
And Lulu's like, will you make me one? Yeah, no? Okay.
Ah, the time
I
for
said
the
I was gonna
nation
make a
to stop.
sandwich, brother, not two.
Spear Hunter team going. Huh? Your friendly name. Huh? Yeah.
Shinner just boots him in the balls.
Doesn't really matter.
I really wanted to do that this whole time.
Just one swift kick.
Surging,
all Shinra ever wanted.
going.
Pulsing, throbbing.
Whoa, such
Beautiful
action.
flying rose. Attack! Oh, the cell arc got real dumb real quick.
Let's go.
The Gullwing's last mission.
Do you know why the cell arc is the way it is? So originally, it was just... You remember when it starts and the first two androids are like that old man and that fat one?
Yeah.
Those were going to be the androids, but then his editor went,
We're just
fucking no. Fucking no, these aren't gonna be the villain of this arc. And so then he had Future Trunks come back and go, those aren't the androids! And then 17 and 18 wake up. And then his editor went, fucking no, the villains aren't gonna be this teenage boy and this teenage girl. And so then,
want from me?
and then he made Cell. He didn't even have Cell planned out at the start.
Go, go, go.
He made Cell, and you know, he's like that cricket form.
Yeah.
And his editor went, fucking no, the villain's not gonna be this weird cricket man. And so he like throws up his hands and it's like, okay, what if he absorbs them and becomes a better thing? And then finally he got the perfect Cell, and his editor went, fine.
What if he wants to just, you know, hold a tournament to see who's the strongest?
Well, yeah, these things always sell best when there's a tournament for some reason.
Everyone always wants to know who's the strongest.
Yeah.
That's what they sit. All the people sit there and argue about is who's the strongest.
Oh, Akira Toriyama, he has never planned out anything in his life. The villain of this arc is, well, first it's this planet. No, it's the Ginyu Force. No, it's Frieza's first form.
He certainly didn't plan on having to draw children.
No, he didn't. Well, I think he never planned on having to draw teenagers. He seems to have
Oh, yeah,
a
you can
way.
get-
He has a way of drawing kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And he can draw adults, but you look
Yeah.
at Teen Gohan, and it's like, no,
What is this?
he looks like a slightly less paunchy kid Gohan, or like a small adult. So now I'm finally starting to mix up their stuff. I got Yuna as a thief, and then they are gun mages. So they have their literal spell guns right now.
Now she's a...
Samurai, I think. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Slice it up.
Oh yeah, that is just Ron's default sword, completely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's weird that they would reuse so much content from Final Fantasy X and then make so many new skins for each of the main characters, because there's a different skin for each character for each job, and there's something like 20 jobs, I think? So there must be at least 60 versions of each. Probably helps that they don't change up their weapon models at all. This just seems like a lot of work for a game that
Yeah.
obviously was banking on the reuse of content.
It was like they just really let a certain, group of artists go, like,
go
nuts
nuts.
with the
They just take all the
outfits.
possible concept art for each
Yeah.
of these and then assign one to each of the gals.
How do you wish for them to be dressed? Well, make it work in the context of the game. Alright.
And I think I gave Yuna like a white mage soul accessory so that she can cast healing magic despite what her job is.
She's got, like, what's on her arms? They're roughly...
They're just like roughly sleeves, kinda.
And I can't tell if her shorts are being held up by hip suspenders or if those are her underwear that are just really high up on the hips.
Don't worry about that.
But hip suspenders, that's a new one. That's good, right?
Yeah, they seem to be hip suspenders.
Pain.
Yeah,
So funny.
I know, just gigantic hat.
Yeah, shoot something.
Yeah. Oh, these three.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. God, I bet it would have felt weird if you had played Final Fantasy X, but had never discovered these three
Yeah.
somehow, and then you're playing this, and you're like, wait, what the? Were there more Aeons?
You too.
Yeah.
Like, did I not know about something? Like, I've had that chaos. Oh, shock. I thought it said chaos sock.
Does it show their names when you select them too? Would you know who these are if you, like, never played 10 or never found them in 10 and came here? Like, when you highlight them, does it say they're...
Oh yeah, because this has.
Oh, yeah,
There's,
see,
yeah,
there we go.
there's no continuity between your plate. Not so Mighty Guard. There's no continuity between your 10 save and this game. You can't import data.
But, yeah.
So it would say Mindy. If you might be in a weird spot where if you hadn't found them in 10, and then you get here, you see that there are Mindy, Cindy, and Sandy. But you may have played Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and you're like,
saying.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. And you're like,
you might
wait,
be
did
like,
they-
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
What are these four do? What are these three doing here?
Like, is this just an Easter egg for
Yeah.
fans right here?
Because even Final Fantasy X sold enough copies, and this sold enough copies that I think that may have happened at least once to somebody. Maybe after this one came out, especially because they added the Dark Aeons from the international release to this version, and those can actually prevent you from acquiring these if you're not strong enough. Because they get in the way of your ability to complete the stuff that you need to do to get anima. If you don't have anima, you can't get these. So that's kind of a pain. But, at least one person's mind must have been blown. They're like, was there more
yeah,
stuff?
exactly. Like
I-
oh, shit.
Like, I was reading through a list of items that you can miss completely within Final Fantasy VII. And there is a room the second time you can go to Shinra Tower on Disc 2, containing a weapon for Barret, and I think a weapon for Tifa that I had no idea existed. Like, wait, what the fuck is that? I played this game a dozen times. What is that? And when you're climbing up the cliff face to get to the northern crater, there's a hidden room off to the side somewhere with a second ribbon that I've never, ever known about. I've just always gotten the ribbons by morphing Tonberries in Disc 3.
Yeah, your samurai character's really messing them up. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
great.
they just hit hard. It's like the Festivalist was useful because they have all those elemental abilities, but ultimately it does consume mana, and so very quickly I would just run out of it. Whereas the samurais just hit hard.
Are you just using Yuna to like steal some stuff, or why do you have her as a thief? Just...
I think I was using her to steal stuff, and maybe to give her a speed bonus.
Oh,
Yeah,
for healing, yeah.
She's also my pocket white mage, and so she's healing at the same time. But now she's just a pure white mage. I'm kind of surprised that her white mage outfit isn't just her outfit from 10. But I do appreciate that it's a white mage outfit.
Yeah, like
in the
a
traditional sense.
Throwback to that.
Yeah.
That's nice. Her staff though looks like
That is her default staff, yeah. And I forget the samurai's entire slate of abilities, but I know they have. I think they have like minus strike or some version of that where it's difference between their 8 max and current HP. They have a way of boosting their attack power. They can. I think they have an ability called Clean Slate where they can like heal themselves and remove any negative status ailments on themselves. Like the samurai is actually almost busted, it seems.
It would be good if that Clean Slate also removed any positive, like kind of.
Oh
effects,
yeah,
too.
so it's a double-edged kind of
Sword?
Yeah, one of those abilities where it's like, well, I mean, I'm gonna lose haste, but I'm gonna get rid of this poison. You fucking did it, girls.
Your hats are huge.
Yeah.
Your hats are huge.
There's that bit to the music where it goes da-na-na-na, where it sounds like it's gonna emphasize something in particular, but it doesn't, and that's really frustrating to listen to over and over.
In the cartoon, they would hear that and like look around
Yeah.
and be like, "What?" Like, like expecting something to happen and nothing would happen. Uh-oh. We had to have known this was coming.
Yeah, if you fought everything else, this is the only one left.
Forgive me.
Non-parial. What does that do? Oh, raises their strength and accuracy, yeah. So they can boost their, ability to hit and their ability to land attacks right away. Samurai is very strong in this one.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes, if it's modeled after Oron, that's cool. Like, these unchanging and changing effects, they're just a little, it's just like, oh, here we go. Just literally gonna disrobe the white mage.
Yeah.
And
It's, they do that. It's just a thing they do in any kind of like magical girl anime. Apparently,
Yeah.
it's like they're just naked for a little bit, but then the clothes are forming on them just fast enough that
Yeah.
you don't see any nudies.
it's a huge hit in Utah.
Yeah. Sailor Moon sells fucking gangbusters in Salt Lake City. Go figure. Fortunately, in this one, Pain isn't an instant death
Yeah.
attack the way it was in 10. Because they realized, hey,
Yeah.
we don't have any way of protecting against it this time.
Yeah,
So,
that's a little fucked up. Let's not do that.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, Pain especially is hitting hard.
She's just taking out all this fucking frustration of this world on Anima here.
Also, there may or may not be an attack bonus when you chain attacks together. I'm not certain.
It'd been nice nice if they maybe explain that at some point instead of just having it be
Yeah.
like an extra bit of info popping
Yeah.
up every once in a while.
It would be nice if they explained a lot of things. Like, why did we just fight all the Aeons? When they are literally gone. We killed the Aeons. They're dead.
And then Yuna wakes up at the end of the game. Oh, it's just a dream.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it was just a dream within a dream. Oh, Titus is still here. Oh, but he's not as attractive as he was in the dream. Huh. No, you're gone.
This doesn't make sense.
Yuna. I'm sorry. We weren't strong enough to stop him. We wanted to at least warn someone, but instead, we were dragged into the darkness.
So wait, if you guys are still around,
Better than fiends.
why don't you let me summon you? I could really use your help.
It's alright.
You have guns now, Yuna. Believe in yourself.
Forgive
and the
us.
guns.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Believe in the guns, you know?
Please, tell me, what is he?
He's an asshole. That's
Shuyin?
it? Yeah. He's just an asshole.
Just a
Go
shadow.
figure.
It may look like him, but the real Shuyin died long ago. Even after 1,000 years, his hate and misery linger on.
Oh.
His feelings grew so strong they began to act on their own. Eventually, they became a shadow, a shade that wants only to vanish, but cannot.
Sounds like Kingdom Hearts a little
Just a
bit.
shadow.
Are you a nobody,
I can
or are you a
handle a
heartless? Or are you a... I think there was a third thing.
Yeah, what was the third thing?
I swear to... Well, I guess I'll find out in a couple
Yes,
of weeks.
leave it to me.
I can't believe how much I'm looking forward to playing through Kingdom Hearts again.
I'll
After
banish shadow
the year of
with
Final
light.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, this whole year of playing through just RPGs. Like, you know what I need? 3 more RPGs.
Well,
That's right.
I want to play
Call it
through Kingdom
love.
Hearts and World of Final Fantasy just to like see faces that I'll actually recognize.
Oh,
and
yeah.
have I know
Yeah.
what your story is like, except you, Lightning.
God, I hope she's not in Kingdom Hearts 3. Actually, I hope she is in Kingdom Hearts 3. But as a complete side... There's no way she won't be in Kingdom Hearts 3, so I hope it's as just a complete side character who's just there sometimes.
And she's like, "Do you want me in your party?" Like, "No, I'll take Goofy."
Yeah.
Certainly took your sweet time.
Oh, gosh!
Why are you here?
Like, that's the one way I think Square Enix can kind of redeem Lightning, is if they lean into the fact that no one actually likes her.
Yeah.
With Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, she's just constantly popping up and like, here's Lightning to help, but then the day's already been saved. It's like, oh,
And like, you get a trophy for choosing Goofy over Lightning.
yeah.
Follow me. Turn back now and wait for my return.
You get a trophy for choosing her, and it's just a bronze trophy called Really?
What can I say? One look at Nuji Wuji's dashing visage on that spear, and I was, charmed.
That means she was wet.
How could I say no to such a cutesy wootsy face?
What is happening to you, LeBlanc?
I think Nuge just makes her so horny she can't help
What if he-
herself. At least it seems to be the implication.
If he knows you're waiting, he has a reason to come home.
And wait I shall.
We'll tell him that you're waiting like a good girl.
You
That's a
do
bit
that
patronizing,
without
Riku.
Distress, good girl.
Did you just patronize yourself, LeBlanc?
They haven't found the woke spheres yet.
No, they haven't. They,
They haven't found the feminist spheres.
no, they haven't found the equal opportunity spheres, the equal pay for equal work spheres.
So close. I mean, this is a female-driven Final Fantasy adventure.
Yeah.
They're so close.
They're so close, but they did have to fuck it up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Even by making it dress spheres. It could have just been job spheres.
Yeah.
Just job spheres. I think that one change probably would have made this whole game more palatable for a lot of people.
Because, yeah, you're
like
just
not
that simple little. I mean, it's like semantics pretty much
Yeah.
at that point, but it's just that fact that like why do male characters get jobs but female characters get outfits,
It
wardrobes?
I mean, semantics is what gives language its flavor and
Yeah.
power. It's the difference between saying someone was murdered and someone was assassinated. Those
Yeah.
have significant implications. Calling them dress spheres when the entire cast is female has significant implications. Like, I'm not even coming from like the teenage version of myself that was like, ew, dress spheres, basically.
Yeah.
It's the adult version of myself thinking about the literal semantics of it and going, this is actually kind of retro
Like,
like kind of retrogressive.
Like this is the game that Final Fantasy decided to give girls to play.
Yeah,
Alright,
basically, and that's it. And that's what
Dr. P.
the fact that they're dress spheres makes it feel like this is basically Barbie Final
Yeah.
Fantasy. If they were job spheres, it wouldn't feel that way. It'd be, oh cool, they made one with a, you know, purely female primary cast.
I'll watch
Cool.
it later.
Like,
Yeah, they have different outfits, but jobs have always had different
exactly.
outfits.
Going
That's how
back
you
to
distinguish it.
going back to, I think 3 was the first one to have a job system. I don't know what it looked like on the NES, but at least on the DS version, you know, they do have different outfits for different jobs, and that's all it would feel like. The rest of the goofy shit would still be a problem.
Yeah.
That would just be weird, but it wouldn't have this base mechanical level underlying all of it, where right from the start it's, oh, dress spheres.
What do
Okay,
you got in mind for
so this
fun?
is a girl game for ladies.
Any ideas, Dr. P?
Me?
And maybe that was the reason they made this one. It's like they saw that Final Fantasy X was really attracting a female audience, and they're like, let's make a girl game for ladies.
If it's for real, I
Put 3 ladies in the front and center. Give them dresses to dress up as. Give them all these relationship problems. Maybe they can sit down with coffee from time to time and just talk things out.
Talk about boys.
Yeah.
Nuge?
Captain.
Ah, that's perfect.
Nude, your big thick tendril looks gross.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't like that one.
Chill out, Noogster. All you gotta do is shut up and look important. You'll fit the part.
Like a glove.
Not working like dogs.
Is that a joke?
Yeah. Wait, how long is your arm?
Yeah.
Your Paul.
No, they had a selfie
Oh,
sphere
okay,
stick.
that makes sense. It was also too steady.
Yeah.
What happened to that pain, I wonder?
She's inside you, sleeping. Well, wakey, wakey! Time to set sail! Your captain and your navigator are waiting.
But then it's doubly weird because it seems like they made a girl game for ladies, but then they made the women just pure eye candy.
Yeah.
Like, what is this game?
It's how you make a girl game for girls, but then also get boys to
Yeah.
buy it.
God, was that... I'm worried that might be, like, the discussion that was held with Paul Marketing.
Yeah.
Or Yoshi Marketing.
How do we make a game for women and young women and
'Cause we-
girls, but also, you know, tap
Fa-
into that boy market a bit?
Final Fantasy X really attracted the ladies. We gotta double down on that, but we can't sacrifice the male player base. They're gonna be the ones pushing this game harder than anyone, so we gotta give them eye candy. Make the 3 main characters hot women, just full of skin, but they're also, like, sensitive and talking to each other about their problems over coffee.
I like to imagine this person is zippy with a fedora and a
Yeah.
suit and a cigar.
Yeah. Like an overweight Zippy
Yeah.
behind a table with his feet kicked up somehow.
Yeah. Zipper feet.
Yeah. I mean, the last time Final Fantasy had a primary female lead would be, maybe even the only time, would be 6. But then Terra, she's the ostensible protagonist, but everyone gets their time in the sun there.
Yeah.
And ultimately, she's not
Both
a main focus
Yeah.
even in the back half. It's kind of everyone's story together. Yuna was obviously the co-lead of 10, but at the same time, we do follow Titus right from the start, and he's always reminding you that it's his story. So a female-led Final Fantasy is something that I think people want and have wanted and still do want after 13. But fuck, they just like haven't quite delivered it.
Can't call it a smart one, though.
And then they were like, how about 15 is the
What's
biggest
that?
boy adventure?
I mean, you may as well.
For another's body. Stop the body, and you stop him. I'll shoot Barrel Eye.
You'll kill
Yeah, you
your
will.
friend?
His body will be useless, but if we're lucky, he won't die.
I'll just wound him a
Show
bit,
you
you
more
know? I'll
abandoned
shoot him in the
Barrel
leg.
Eye, and then he'll come back for me.
What then?
So his
I will die.
plan is basically how we handled Yu Yevon at the end of 10.
I'm taking Shuyin with me.
But he doesn't realize that Shuyin can just keep possessing people. First we kill Barrel Eye, then you kill me. I guess then you have to kill yourselves.
You're our captain.
Exactly.
You're our captain with a really impressively small waist.
I don't like your plan.
Yeah.
There you go,
It
Yuna.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah! Again, language that doesn't quite fit
Your
in
plan
Final
is
Fantasy,
awful.
but I enjoy it.
Think about it. It's no different than what we did.
Okay,
2 years
yeah.
ago.
So she's recognizing that's exactly their plan from killing you, Yevon.
Good
We
job,
destroyed our
Yuna.
Yeah.
own allies. We destroyed the Aeons who had fought together with us at our side. We didn't have a choice then. We believed that was the only way we could save Spira. Do you know what it felt like to watch them die? Right before my eyes.
Yeah, you just went and did it again
It
throughout
was
this
the
whole
only thing
game.
we
Yeah.
could do. It was the only choice we had. I gave in, I accepted, I believed. I allowed it to be true. I thought I'd be able to go through with it without ever doubting myself.
There's the stalwart Yuna I love from
Yeah.
10.
It hurt so much.
Probably the best female protagonist in Final
Forgive us.
Fantasy.
For sure.
Just,
yeah.
just for that reason. Doesn't get nearly enough credit.
Everyone was so happy. Great job, Yuna. You did it. You saved us all.
We can go to the mall whenever
There
we
were
want now. There's no
Too
sin.
many smiles to count.
I heard
and I
Hot
know
Topic's having a sale
that
on,
I was smiling
I don't
too.
know, candy that's from video games.
But now, when I look back, the people who should be here aren't. The ones who should be smiling with me aren't here.
We had no choice.
There's Jack's voice.
We had no choice. Always we had no choice. Those are our magic words. We repeat them to ourselves again and again, but you know, the magic never worked. The only thing we're left with is regret.
This is great.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is-
a
Yuna,
really
I'm
great
sorry.
moment.
No. I don't want this anymore. I don't want friends to die or fade away. I don't want battles where we have to lose in order to win.
Titus's logo looks a lot
Nuge,
more
I know that
dong-like
what
when
you're
it's
saying
stretched out.
Is what you mean to do.
Just
Give
realizing
me
that.
your resolve. Believe in Yuna.
So you have a plan.
No, I didn't say I had a
Like?
plan.
I just said your plan sucks.
That's plan B.
See, look, it's
But
super
before
dong-like,
that-
right? It's got like
Oh
two
yeah,
balls
yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
Hey, Riku.
Tip.
No
Yeah.
matter how monstrous it looks, Vegnagun is still just a machina.
So you just steal from
So
it
we
and it'll
can
fall
take it
apart.
apart,
And
Oh
then
yeah.
it just cuts to a battle and she just
Yeah.
steal
She,
once. And
she steals from it, she pulls out the tiniest little pin and the whole thing just crumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Block.
In that moment that we just had, that was so great, is something that this game had the potential to really explore.
And I never was.
And
the
if it
way
had
people
just
built
leaned in
houses
more
that
toward
way.
the sincerity
yeah.
aspect of this whole story, it would have been sold even further. Because again, you never get the opportunity to explore the characters after the adventure is done. Like she said, at the times they told them at the time they said we had no choice, we had to do this, we had to do that. That's what Barrett told himself the whole time
Yeah.
he's blowing up reactors.
Gotta
Kate,
do it.
Kate Sith calls him out for it
looks like
real
we can
brief,
stop that thing
real
after all.
briefly at the end of disc 2. And he's like, I think he literally says we didn't have a choice. That was different. We had to do it. Even if innocent people died, we had to do it to save the planet. Like, what does Barrett feel 2 years later?
Yeah.
When he's still living in Midgar, when he's still coming across the families of people who died when he blew up the reactor.
What about
what
Shuyan?
what choices are they thinking about that they could have done differently? But in the moment they were
Love.
he just read this phrase yesterday even. There's like
The ultimate
cold
illusion.
logic and hot logic.
It'll work.
where when you're cold, you're like, oh, I wouldn't do these dangerous things, but when you're hot, you're like, of course they'll have sex without protection. Fuck it, let's do it. And then and then afterwards, you're like, oh fuck, what was I doing?
Count me in.
Totally had a choice.
Yeah.
Had a lot of choices.
You had so many choices, but if you just had to put, these characters in the middle of an adventure, they're pretty hot. They're pretty hot-blooded, so they're not really thinking about their choices. Maybe there was another way they could have solved the Yu Yevon problem without needing to kill the Aeons. Maybe they could have released the Aeons beforehand, then Yu Yevon would have been like, whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe there was literally anything else they could have done, but at the moment, they're like, well, this will do it.
Murder everything.
Yeah, this will solve the problem, no matter how painful it is. This game has a lot of potential that just doesn't get realized. And I wouldn't be opposed to them trying it again with another Final Fantasy down the road.
Yeah.
Like I haven't played 15, but maybe like 16 is something special. It's like, make 16 too. Bah, I'm kind of a bug.
It's real weird.
And I'm controlled by like a light piano? I don't know. I'm a weird machina. Very complicated to pilot. You gotta be some kind of fucking organist virtuoso.
Just up there playing Bach's chromatic Fantasia and Fugue in D minor.
Yeah.
It's just like, rah!
Oh, you are just a big insect. With a dumb monster face.
Ha! It's just bluffing.
It just looks big.
Yeah.
Getting rusty.
Throw Ultima weapon at it. Falls to the ground. Materia roll. That's the best part, when the materia roll out of the sword. Shit.
If we all attack at once, we can do this.
Like, it just makes you think about how silly the whole idea is.
Yeah.
Of like putting these little balls in your weapon and stuff, and it's like
Guess that leaves the tail.
not really developed the best.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go.
Nuge, what can you possibly do against this thing? My leg's actually a machine gun, like that bad Quentin Tarantino movie. No, wait, he made the bad movie with the car. Robert Rodriguez made the bad one with the machine gun leg, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the difference between the two. Honestly.
Because they were double bill, so they're both Grindhouse, and so it was like Planet Terror was the one with the machine gun leg,
Okay,
and then the
that's
other one
right.
was Death Proof. That's right. God, Death Proof was so fucking boring. Kurt Russell drives a car, and it's like he's modified in such a way that he can get into any accident, and as long as he's in the driver's seat, he can't die. It's death-proofed. And so the first, 20 minutes follow this group of young women who are out, having a party and shit, and then he forces them to get into an accident with him, and it kills them all. But he survives. But he was sober, and they were all kind of drunk, and so they're like, it was obvious, they were drunk, and they collided with him. And then I think later he kidnaps someone, and there's another chase or something. It's so fucking boring. I was on duty one night in the Marine Corps almost a decade ago, which is, hey, I sit at this post for 24 hours, make sure no shenanigans go on at the barracks. This is stupid, but it's something we do. And it was so boring that I'd rather not watch it than watch it in the middle of this incredibly boring duty.
That's pretty boring.
Pretty boring. So what's great about the gun mage is that they get Fiend Hunter abilities on top of their... basically they have enemy skills as their main ability, but they also gain abilities which are specifically designed to kill specific enemies. And so they have Fiend Hunter or Machina Killer or something like that. And so if you use those against...
Quadruple damage.
Yeah, quadruple damage if the enemy is of the correct type. So what I'm doing is trying to figure out, what is Vegnagun's type? And I don't think it ultimately has one, but pain just hits really hard with everything. So eventually it's I'll just go to Samurai. Hit harder than hit harder than God.
Yeah, samurai it up. Just start slicing things. What is the clicking and like whistling always associated with like samurai? Like
I'm guessing it just has to do with samurai films. I don't know what that instrument is that's making that noise, but in anything associated with samurai, you always seem to hear it.
and you hear like a
That too, like that sound is. I remember first hearing that sound in Bushido Blade, and then proceeding forward and then consuming other media. Like you do hear it a lot.
and that clicking that slowly gets faster.
Yeah. Like it probably has something to do with something more ingrained into the culture that we're just not aware of. But I'm assuming it's.
You know those fountains that have like a bamboo that fills up with
Yeah,
water?
and then it tips over. Yeah, and then it comes back up. Yeah.
Makes me think of that. I always really liked those.
Those are cool.
I think I remember being told that they were designed to like scare deer away from gardens from eating stuff. At least that's what I was told when I was a little kid. But I just think they're cool. The deer's just hanging out and the thing just clicks all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Like, oh, fuck!
that's what I was just thinking, is that it probably like makes a loud click when it falls down. And so the deer's like, woof!
I don't want to eat this vegetable garden
I
anymore.
I don't want to eat these roses. And all of Vegnigun's attacks are.
If you can't even stop the tail, forget about the rest.
Thanks, Jack, for the pick-me-up. Like, if you can't even handle the butt,
Not done yet.
don't worry about the boobs.
I just want Jack to provide air support from his sweet ghost car.
So, back in college, we were talking about the idea of filming like just the end of a vampire movie, and it would be like the main character is in the middle of a ring of fire, and the vampire walks into it, and he's like confronting him, and he starts like losing himself in emotion, talking about how he was gonna be like with the main character's girlfriend, and how they were gonna like go on dates and stare into each other's eyes and meet each other's parents and all that. And as all that's happening, you keep hearing Lukuka in the background, and it gets louder and louder, and it's like, what the fuck is that noise?
Yeah.
And then the main character's buddy, like, ramps his car up, and he's like, that's my shit! And then plows into the vampire. I want Jack to do that at the very end. Like, we have the situation on lock, and then you hear Lukuka and then Jack just drives this ghost Buick from some weird angle, that's my shit! And then right into Barrel Eye. Oh, I guess we had to kill Barrel Eye anyway.
I'm going to go cheer Nuji on.
Turns out your plan was stupid too, we gotta kill everything.
LeBlanc never stood a chance against this thing.
Jack is just providing emotional support by driving around and blasting cherry pie from his Buick.
Like, depending on what song it plays, it can either like buff you or heal you or something.
Yeah. Or just confound you with cherry pie. It's like, I guess that's a song. Yeah.
It has all the parts of a song, but I don't... It's hard to, call it music.
Apparently there was a UFC fighter. Ultimate Fighting Championship fighter. Yeah, that makes sense, guys. There's a UFC fighter who, for a couple of years, like, whenever he'd walk out into the stage, his intro music would be something completely random, and no one knew why. And then it turned out that he had changed his phone number at some point, but hadn't alerted his crew to it. And then another guy who happened to be a fan of his got a new phone number that happened to be his old number.
Oh.
And so they would call the old number, get this fan, ask, hey, what music do you want for your intro? And he would just say, like, some random song, like Taylor Swift or Beyonce or anything like that. And this went on for a couple of years, and then eventually the guy told him to play some Nickelback song when he was coming out on the stage. And apparently that was the guy's break point. That's when he actually looked into it and realized this whole thing that had been going on, and finally gave them his proper phone number. And immediately it's like, oh, okay, so we get to learn that this is yet another UFC fighter who likes nu metal.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because I imagine immediately after that, it just was him walking out into the stage just like, ah! Stand down!
Because, like, you know, he couldn't have just... That couldn't have just been his, like, his gimmick. Was It's a random song, because he's not so full of himself that he has to let everyone know that he likes the most tribal, tattoo-covered new metal in the world.
I kind of want to look into the current I don't like UFC. I don't give a shit about it, but I do want to look into the current roster to see, is there anyone who's not that guy? Is there anyone who's not just that fucking UFC asshole? With the tribal tats and the new metal intro and all of that shit. So Vegnagun here has those 3 pustules, and I forget what their fucking deal is.
Keep your eyes on those colors.
Oh, keep your eyes on the colors, though.
Yeah, like the colors have some effect, but I think you can just beat up the leg and ignore those completely.
You can read its moves. Watch the colors.
Wow, Warren, that was kind of an uninspired reading.
Yeah.
It didn't even quite sound like you at the end.
It was hard. I was like, who is that? Oh,
Yeah.
Well, it's Warren.
Like, that's not your rhythms at all.
So, did we get it?
Sure looks that way.
Shake a leg.
Let's stab it in the butt for good measure.
Yeah. You know, this isn't the time for puns. Okay, I'll let you go.
Look! I'm going.
Yeah, Pan, you got this. Whoop.
Riku just looked like she needed to use the bathroom for a moment.
I'll catch up, everyone.
Yeah.
Don't look back here.
Hey, Paul, your buddy's up there. Maybe don't fire rockets up at the head. Oh, shit.
This thing just
Hurt.
keeps on
That
sneaking.
really hurt. It's got
We'll
more
finish it.
rockets.
Do it.
Turns out it counters rockets with more rockets. Oh, I should have hit it with a bagel.
Would have been delicious.
So big.
Oh, it turns out it counters bagels with more rockets.
Would you please focus?
My theory was
This time the
wrong.
legs are just a distraction. You know where to strike.
What was it saying that the...
He said the legs are just a distraction. You know where to strike.
You mean the glowy bit?
Yeah, of course. Just... Yeah, I do just want Orin and Jack to be driving around his ghost beat with big circles, yelling advice to you.
And
but
like-
they start to run out of advice as the fight goes on.
Empty beer cans are falling out of
Yeah.
the back.
And then a ghost cop starts chasing him around.
Oh shit, we gotta go, kids.
Yeah. But they're still just going in circles.
And then when you deal the final blow to Vegnagun, then it cuts to like this ghost car crash
Yeah.
into the shiny gem part of Vegnagun, and that's what really does it.
That's what does it, and you see Orin and Jack's ghost bodies like hanging limp out of the car, and then more their ghosts rise out of their ghosts. And they're like, yeah. Double ghosts.
They high five.
Yeah.
Their hands go through each other's hands, and they look at their hands and laugh. I don't know what's going on, but I think we did it.
I think Jack saved the day? Yeah, let's just say Jack saved the day. But I still deal with the hands because they only have like 3,000 HP anyway. So whatever they do, I don't want to deal with it. Not when these two are just steadily chipping away at everything like that.
Super good damage. Just,
Yeah. Because and then the problem with the Festivalist is that even though it can put out good damage, there is still that charge time to your attacks, whereas with these, it's basically equal damage, but there's no charge time, so it just happens. So I get a net gain over time, which really starts to compound. That's the final boss, everybody. It's Final Fantasy X-2. Doop doop doop. Doop 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 doo doo.
Oh fuck! You all suck. You know that.
I just wanted to burn the world. Am I such a monster? Yes. Oh.
Look at your face. Holds up a mirror. No! Now I know shame.
Maybe we're finished.
Fucking LeBlanc's all fucked up and living in behind Nuge still. Like,
Finished indeed.
As in, I'm going to kill you now.
Paralyzed. All of Spira is finished.
Are you Ultron now?
come on, man. Sin couldn't do it. You think you're gonna do it?
With your fucking... your cover of Indigata Devita? I don't know how to play piano, but I do know how to play Indigata Devita.
So sit back. It's gonna take...
He's got a plan B too!
He's panicking. Yuna, end it now.
Shoot him in the fucking face.
This is it, everybody! Stay focused!
It sounded like her voice cracked when she said the body part of everybody. It was like everybody.
Huh.
Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh,
What?
that's penile. Oof.
Weird. Whoa, it just keeps coming.
Why didn't it open with a big doom gun? Again.
And it's trying to like aim it at the party, but
Yeah.
they're too close. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh man, I just gave him better access to my face. Damn it.
Julian!
Not my face,
can't
that's the
end like
moneymaker.
this. I'm getting ticked off!
Come.
Now there's a bunch of little eyeballs.
Yeah.
Let us purge this repulsive world.
Except those aren't targets, it just has like its left mandible and its right mandible.
Ooch.
Oh, actually, that wasn't that bad. I thought you'd be a lot worse than this for a final boss.
Oh, fuck. I like how those eyes look like fed up.
Oh, yeah.
Bastards. Do another zappy thing. Oh, wow, I'm really weak.
Oh, you put shell on. Oh, damn. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, you cut my gross little mandible. Oof.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know how much leveling you did it, but just from watching this, it looked like it's a pretty easy game to get through.
Oh, yeah. Once I stopped trying to make the festivalist work the whole time, and started looking into other jobs, this is not a difficult Final Fantasy at all.
And that's good.
This is the easiest one.
Like, that's how I feel like it should be. It's
Yeah,
like
as a side story.
Just to get them through,
Yeah.
like, get the players through this, because if it was difficult, I don't think very many people would want to finish it.
Oh no! Like if it was difficult on top of being not terribly compelling narratively, like there would be very little reason to play it.
The floor design is very vagina-like.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They wanted to get in at the last possible moment. They wanted to insert a little bit of like Fudanari in there. It's a vagina and a penis. What are you gonna do about it, you prude? I don't know if this making me feel weird makes me a prude, guys. I don't know. Stop resurrecting your mandibles.
Yuna,
Yeah.
Riku,
And it's dead.
Pain. This is your time. You must
They only have
defend it.
2,500 HP each one,
And,
so
and,
it's just
and
like...
it seems like the HP's dropping each time it resurrects them. And I'm already killing them in one hit anyway. So it's just like, kill those real quick so they can't do anything, and then fuck up the face a little more.
Time for my solo.
Yeah. You're the only instrument here. This is nothing but a solo.
Oh.
Oh, I guess we've been watching this through a camera the whole time. Oh, that's the best you had. Oh. That's embarrassing.
Finally out of juice?
Maybe they'll listen to me.
having normal
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah, as this thing's fucking exploding around them. As a nuke goes off in their face.
Maybe we should leave? Nah, no, it's alright.
You guys want to get brunch later? Oh yeah, I'd go for a mimosa after this. Okay. See, 1, 2, 4, definitely 5, 6, 7. Like every other one, I can think of a bit which has given me trouble, except for 7. But that's only because I know 7 like the back of my hand. This is just the easiest of Final Fantasies. The only reason it gave me any trouble ever is because I was not using the job system, basically. But then all you need to do is put a white mage and a couple samurai in your party. Yuna, you're a ghost, babe.
I'm sorry, Shuyan. Your face is just a little too weird for me.
It's just like round. It's just kind of round in this weird way. I don't like the lines of it.
There's a lot of real estate around your main features. And well, it just doesn't do it for me.
There's a lot of real estate around your main features, and well, this is a bear market. I hope that metaphor makes sense. I don't care if it doesn't make sense, but I hope it did.
There's something I must tell you. Words left unspoken for 1,000 years.
They're leftovers. What? They're leftovers in the fridge.
Eat them before they go bad. We're having a potluck at work today, so I won't need them.
Those are going to be your last... That's why you came to Pavel to find me?
And I'm grateful. Grateful that you stayed with me until the end.
This is great, because he is seeing Len talking, but it's just Yuna saying what she thinks he wants to hear.
Oh, man, yeah.
Don't go on grieving alone.
And, you know, be happy, and it's not you, it's me, and...
etc., etc. You were the best I ever had, by the way. I just thought I'd tell you that.
You ruined all other men for me. Now I can die in peace. Knowing I was the best dong you ever had.
Wow, that was his unfinished business?
Fade. Together.
Slaps his hand away. Puts it back up.
Yeah.
No.
Wait!
You are not Len!
Oh, no shit, buddy.
She's a fucking ghost, babe.
Just trying to make you feel better.
You just don't get it, do you?
It's no good. He's not listening.
Shuyan, please stop this!
So that is obviously just Titus's model, that they, like, put some shit on and then drag the face sliders out a little bit.
Yeah, drag the chin out and the cheeks out and squish the features in a bit.
He even fights with all of Titus's limit breaks.
What did Riku do to you?
It's gotta start somewhere. She's the smallest. And someone throws him fucking Waka's final weapon for some reason.
Someone just alley-oops him that blitz ball.
Yeah.
We're the only ones who
You got this, buddy. I think he's like, you know, hitting like a child.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes, yeah, how does that feel?
Not great. I'm gonna be honest, not great at all.
Wasn't expecting that.
Nor that, nope, It never gets any easier.
You seem to have an infinite pool of HP coming at you all. That sucks.
Seems like even if you run out of... It seems like even if your white mage runs out of MP, she'll just use prayer and recover a little bit, but it's like enough because I'm not hitting very hard. So, I'm not liking my chances here. Fuck.
Be gone!
That fucking just X strike.
I know, that's so cool.
Put that crybaby to sleep!
Yeah, that's Jax for you. He looks like my son back when he was a little baby boy. I hate him. Like he wants the last Pop-Tart.
Just stab him in the face.
Share my despair!
Pull his pants down and laugh.
Because he's wearing Batman undies.
much longer now.
Yeah, look how tired he is. Could you stop hitting me in the face with swords, please?
He missed the white mage.
1,000 years of agony.
Yeah, this wasn't impressive the first time you did it, and now I have Protect on. Granted, Yuna's a white mage, so she doesn't have a whole bunch of HP,
Yeah.
but
Still, wow, just
still
not
weathered
enough.
that, yeah.
Yeah, even if that last little attack he got and landed on Yuna, it still would have been enough.
Shooting.
You're dead now. You're a double dead ghost. Go to ghost hell. That's something that exists?
His hell is to live alongside Jecht, Orin, and Titus, but be the worst Titus,
Yeah.
which is Titus's dream.
Uh-huh.
That Jecht hates someone even
Don't
more
try to tell me you
than
understand.
Titus. And then Shuyin gets to live in that for all of eternity. Yeah, like his eyes are really bright. It seems
Yeah.
sweet. Quit being a dick and hang out with your ghost friend now. Get out of here.
She could have just like taken the dress sphere off and like. No, it's really me this time.
When?
Yuna's just more pissed. She's like, oh, even the ghosts get a happy ending. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
yeah.
Where's mine?
Yeah. Final Fantasy X-3, where's my happy
This moment
ending?
is all we get?
This moment's enough. I don't need anything else. Just knowing how you feel is enough. Shuyin, let's end this. Let's go home.
I have leftovers.
Can we?
Real good ones, too.
You never ate them. They're still waiting.
That was all 1,000 years ago. We've come too far to look back now. Rest, Shuyin. Rest with me.
Yuna's like, oh shit. Maybe I need to move on or something.
No, no, I'm not gonna learn anything from this.
A new song for you.
It's called Butts, Butts, Butts. I've been writing it for 1,000 years.
I think it'll be a big hit one day.
Thank you.
It's just, yeah, what a weird game.
Yeah, it just kind of ends.
It's
like it just kind of plods forward, and then it just kind of ends, and then it's just like that's the final boss.
Like this whole situation seems like it could have just been a self-contained story, like within the universe of Final Fantasy X-2, like just another adventure for the Gullwings,
Yeah.
like solving this problem, like season 1.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like It's I mean, it's obviously the least substantial of any Final Fantasy story. Just, I was able to cut it down into 5 episodes of about an hour each, obviously, so that's, even if I made those half-hour episodes, that'd still only be 10. That'd be just a little bit more than Final Fantasy 1.
It's not even really like a Yuna story.
It's like the story of everyone around Yuna. And I think that if you get 100%, she gets to see Titus there. Which completely defeats the purpose of 10.
Yeah.
Because 10's about, like, making the most of the time you have with people while you're here, and then realizing that eventually you need to say goodbye, and then moving past, you know, the fact that people are gone. And so by bringing Titus back there, it's like, well, you just shat all over 10. For this girl game for ladies. Buy a copy of Final Fantasy X-2 at Target and get a free bottle of bath salts. This is a weird promotion, but I guess I like bath salts in Final Fantasy. Alright.
Get a makeup kit.
Alright, I mean, Halloween's coming up, I could probably put that to use.
Another Unapalooza?
No, it's Fuckboy Palooza.
We would sail a ship with me as its captain.
We would sail a ship. But the only ship we needed...
I became that captain. I found a new ship with
his
new
friendship.
My ship?
I wish.
Yeah.
Was the youth.
I'm really glad this wasn't our main party, though, these three.
Yeah.
Although, I'd like to see what kind of adventures they get up to sometimes.
Yeah. I forgot that the moral of the story is the only ship you need is friendship. Is literally...
I realize I'm like a lot of you people. We want a captain. And we want a ship to ride, but more important than that, really, we all want to ride together.
Like, I had no idea.
Things you can't do alone. But they become easy with friends beside you.
This was the lesson that we learned when we launched those ships.
No!
Power.
The lesson we learned, the only ship you need is friendship.
Followers against each other.
I'm so glad we made that joke so long ago.
And I had no idea that was going to be the lesson.
Forgive us.
Like, I'm happy I had never played through 10-2 before this, just so when I got to this moment and realized that was the lesson, I lost my shit.
There's a much larger ship out there.
No!
We've been riding ever since we were born.
No!
That ship
And also friendship.
No one knows just where our voyage will lead us. But we do know one thing.
Looks like things are gonna get pretty strange. Stranger Things 3.
One way or another, we will get by. We'll go on living. The calm will continue.
Just one more thing. We all owe thanks to a very special lady.
Yeah, I was about to say, why is it just these dudes talking?
You all know who I'm talking about. We really hope that she could be here today.
They're just the opening act.
Yeah.
It's time for me to go home.
You don't technically have a home.
I'm homeless.
She left a message. She said she's going home.
You don't know where that is?
Not goodbye.
Go away.
Like, it's almost insane the level of celebrity Yuna possesses in this world.
Yeah, it's crazy that no one's just a fucking lunatic and is like hunting her down to wear her skin.
Ugh.
Did we really have to leave like that? Just think of the party we're missing.
Like, there's free food and as many dogs as you need.
Brother, higher!
Wait, not too heavy, can't breathe.
Oh, can't breathe.
Brother, faster!
And they all just get ripped off the top from
Yeah.
sheer speed. And it shows like a really zoomed out, so it's like just these three little dots flying off the ship.
Looks like Team Goldwings is blasting off again!
But where are they going? And what are they doing?
The only ship you need There's a motorcycle.
So much has happened, and I'm sure it's only the beginning.
And then you play Last Mission, the side game that comes with this, and it turns out they just break up and go their separate ways almost immediately. So they come together for one last mission, and I guess when you beat that, they just kind of realize, oh, I guess we're not necessarily friends anymore because the adventure's over. So
that's sad.
Yeah.
When I saw this sphere of you.
But it wasn't of Titus. You only whatever. Find. That's 10-2.
Yeah, that was weird. It was just a weird game.
It's a weird game that can't quite justify its own existence. You look at it and it's like, well, it could be this, but it's not. It could be this, but it's not. It could be this way, but it isn't. It could have been that way, but it wasn't. And then, maybe the side quests make the narrative a bit more fleshed out and a bit more rewarding, but you shouldn't hide narrative behind side quests. At least not like huge, not huge bits of narrative.
Oh, that's what we have to thank the costume designer there.
Mr. Rishi, yeah.
Yeah, this definitely feels like DLC in a time before DLC.
Fuck, you're right. This feels like the $20 major DLC that would come out 6 months after the game release.
Yeah.
Like the Pit or something in Fallout 3. It's like, oh, so it's about it'll take 10 hours? Okay. That's fine. Jade from Sweetbox.
Yeah, it's like there are just all these really strange visual ideas they wanted to experiment with, and then they just didn't have a great story to tie it all together.
No.
I just imagine the credits are going to be really short, but
relatively short, but we were still. It was before the PS3, Xbox 360 era when credits suddenly exploded. Because suddenly we had hardware capable of supporting the kind of graphical fidelity and world size that you needed 300 people to work on it. It's like, I'm tempted to say this is the worst Final Fantasy, but I can't even quite say that. It's just there. It just exists, kind of.
It's hard to even consider it part of the mainline series. Even though it's a direct sequel, it still just feels like...
It feels more like a spin-off series. In the way that Vagrant Story is technically a spin-off of Final Fantasy Tactics, because I believe it takes place in Ivalice. It just doesn't... This just doesn't feel like 10.
Like, the only reason it's called 10-2 is because that's the only way it would really sell a lot or connect with people. It's not like they could have called it Yuna and the Gull Wings or something, or I don't know, just...
I can see this in the early planning stages having a completely different title, and at some point they're like, let's just call it 10-2.
And it just definitely couldn't have been... You know how some games, it's just like, we made this game, oh, well, let's slap these characters on it and call it this.
Yeah.
It is, so set in the world and everything, it's just really weird. It's so fucking weird how they wanted so hard to keep living in this world of Spira, but they just gave us no real reason to be there.
I need to look up whatever I can, interviews with the director, the producer, anyone creatively at a high level who's involved with 10 and then this, to see if they've ever addressed just the reason for this one. We've never finished a Final Fantasy and had a conversation like this.
Yeah.
It's always been reflective on... I mean, this is in the vein of how they're always reflective of what the game has been like that we've just watched or played through. We've never just finished the game and been confused. We've never finished the Final Fantasy and just been like, why does this exist? Why does this exist?
Yeah, we have all these... pretty solid theories as to why, but still, it's just how did they, how was that There's no way a game would be made today just because they're like, we just want to test some stuff out and then make it also part of this mainline, really popular series.
Yeah,
like, no one would waste the fucking money on that.
If you're gonna do something like that, it'd be like they did with Wind Waker HD, where it's a known quantity, you know it'll get people excited, and you know it can sell. Like, to their credit, this is kind of a risky move, the idea of 10-2. I mean, there had never been a direct sequel to a Final Fantasy, so all those jokes about how Final Fantasy is just like an endless series of sequels really never hold water, but they finally do make one, and again, they have the opportunity to do something with it, but they don't quite. They kind of dip their toes into those ideas from time to time, but then pull them out and go like, oh, chill.
And it is kind of, it sucks too, because if I think about, you know, some of the different Final Fantasy worlds, yeah, Spira would be a cool one to revisit, especially years later. But you don't even really...
You don't... Because in revisiting it, all you're doing is tromping through the same areas that you're at before. And they're different than they were, but not so different as to be compelling. In fact, probably 90% of it is identical to what it was in 10. They've just put new NPCs around, obviously. The few places that are different are like Kilika, where they've rebuilt it, and so we can see what Kilika is actually supposed to look like, because when we came there in 10, it had just been fucked up by Sin. That's the only way we ever knew it.
I still don't fully get why Len and Shuyin were killed anyway.
Well, they were fighting during the Machina War, which is when Sin was created. They were from Zanarkand. Len was a summoner. Okay. And all the summoners were sent to fight Bavel, who had Machina, and Shuyin wanted to save her, and so he heard about like this big Machina weapon, which was Vegnagun, that we just fought. And so he went to get that, but somehow Shuyin was there too, and they got caught and shot.
It seemed they had to create so much shit just to make the story kind of make sense.
Yeah, they did. Ugh. Well, that was 10-2. I mean... If you've ever been curious about 10-2, this is probably the best way to experience it, frankly.
I'm glad to have sat through it. But
I've been curious for over a decade. I'm glad to have finally played it myself and re-experienced it this way. But I wasn't sad or heavy-hearted when I saw the end.
But that looks like a question mark, so you're like wondering, is
it
really
it does look like a question mark.
Fan theories and shit?
Yeah.
And, is it gonna end?
Yeah. Well, at any rate, we'll be getting on to 12 now. Story completion 65%, creature completed 1%. Because it gives you brother as a creature.
Oh, well, he is kind of a fucking little weird
so anyway.
animal.
Soya.